Welcome to Undercover Reading. I'm Liz Coley. We're reading The Captain's Kid, Chapter 3, Part 6, Episode 14. At 2100, Dad pushed his chair back. Speech time, I guess, if you'll excuse me. With a pat on my shoulder, he stood and walked to the front of the room, to a small speaker's platform. Happy first night, everybody. And a very happy first night yourself, Cap'n. I recognized Harry's voice, or maybe it was Sam's. Indeed, Dad winked in my direction. I'm pleased to report we're well underway to lunar intercept. We'll be in orbit in the morning. I'm also pleased to report that our two oversleepers caught the next elevator up, so that little bit of excitement is over. I flushed as hundreds of eyes turned my way. Embarrassed and guilty was an easy look to pull off. The laughs fluttered to a stop. Dad continued, I'd like to introduce 3 crew members tonight, our teachers. Please stand if you would. Miss Jan rose next to me, and across the room so did the largest man I'd ever seen. They'll be keeping the kids very busy. Dr. Manny Martinez is our math and science teacher. With a smile as generous as his waistline, Dr. Martinez bowed to the room. Dr. M is also the upper grades coordinator and advisor. Dad waved at a nearby table. Up you get, he said softly. A tiny woman who reminded me of a watchful bird stood up. Not that it made much of a difference. This is Miss Greta Gow, our fitness supervisor. She'll arrange meetings with each and every one of us to map out personal training routines to keep us in shape. Don't nod at me like that, Greta. I passed up that scrumptious dessert. He pumped an invisible dumbbell with his right hand. Remember, as you're sweating it out in the rec center, you're making a down payment on the dinner you'll eat later. Which reminds me, Mr. Siravolu, please stand to be recognized. Our compliments to the chef. Karthik's father rose and bobbed his head shyly while the crowd applauded. Finally, Ms. Jan O'Neill is our middle grades advisor and coordinator, language skills, and social studies teacher. She brings additional talents to our team as well as an accomplished flutist. What? Oh, sorry, I've been corrected. Accomplished flautist. On stage at 21:30 tonight, she'll be offering a concert entitled From Bach to Breck, 6 Centuries of Solo Flute. I got that right? Good. I hope to see all of you there. Thanks. That went okay, I thought. He diffused, dismissed, did away with any remaining tension about losing 2 kids. And of course he gave no hints about the attempted sabotage. I wondered with a squirmy feeling whether the saboteur was here in this room, dining with us, making conversation, acting like a regular crew member. My heart rate sped up just thinking about it. How did Dad go on so naturally, carrying the whole weight of this on himself? You'd never guess. But then in a flash, I did catch the weariness hidden in his hazel brown eyes before he willed it away. After the concert, Dad and I walked back to the room. Dang it, I never had a moment alone with Karthik to tell him Khan's real name. Not the kind of thing you just put in a message. I wanted to be there, see his face, laugh really hard. The concert was better than I expected, I told Dad. He smiled. You got your ear-splitting dance music last night. This was more the speed for us stodgy folk. You're not stodgy, Dad, I reassured him. Yet. Dad elbowed me in the ribs. What an interesting person Jan is. I'll bet she's a great teacher. Super recommendations. And you have to admit, she's a talented flautist. Sure she is, I agreed. For a non-professional. Dad stopped in his tracks. Spidey, it might be my imagination, but you seemed kind of tense around her tonight. Blast. What was I supposed to say, that I didn't care for her choice of perfume? How could he not have noticed? Just tired, I said. It was a very short night and a very long day. So it had nothing to do with her then? Good. He kept watching me in an expectant way. When I didn't say anything, he started walking again. Coward, I told myself. Come on, tell him what's really on your mind. It was hard, too hard after years of not. We never sat down and had a heart-to-heart about Mom. Not since the day Dad told me she'd been lost. Of course, as a 10-year-old, I understood the euphemism, the turn of phrase that meant she was dead. I understood, but I didn't accept it. I was furious at him, at space services, at everyone for leaving her, for not retrieving her body, for not even having a proper funeral for her. And then I moved through my anger to a hopeful delusion. The idea that maybe no body and no funeral meant that she wasn't really dead, that she'd miraculously survived the crash and landed on Esperanza, escaped the shuttle, swum to shore. She was lost. That's what he'd said, his exact words. And lost could be found. It was all I hung on to for a long time. I wonder if I was the one who wouldn't talk to Dad in case he took back the word lost, the phrase left behind, and changed them to dead and buried there. Maybe I was the one who hadn't moved on. I looked sideways at Dad, at his unwrinkled face, at his medium brown hair untouched by gray. He wasn't stodgy yet. And he was showing an unexpected interest in another woman. Maybe that was okay? And maybe I was the one who had to let my childish fantasy die for real? I touched his arm. Dad, do you think... Can we talk about Mom tonight? Dad's face crumpled in a look of pure anguish. I'm sorry, Brandon. I can't talk about her with you. Not yet. Ding and double dang, it was like I'd picked a fresh scab off a wound that was just starting to heal. Now I'd started the bleeding all over again. Sorry, Dad, really, I'm sorry I asked. Dad blinked hard. No, Spidey, I'm the one who's sorry. I can't imagine how hard it's been for you. Of course you can, Dad. Same as it's been for you. I squeezed an arm around his shoulder, but he wouldn't meet my gaze. I felt his shrug. Do you think you could just tell me a little bit about Esperanza, then? Dad's mouth twitched at the corner, not exactly a smile, more like the way you'd grimace if someone stuck a knife in your belly. Yes, I suppose I could tell you about Esperanza. Please come back for the next episode. Thanks.